Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. We're taking a quick look here at SPX. This is a request from one of my community members. Let's see here, I think it was Saladin. Thank you very much for requesting this. You're an awesome part of my community, deeply appreciate you. So thank you for that. Let's see if they have any liquidation levels on the charts. Nope, unfortunately we're going to do without liquidation here, but the best thing to recognize, because this coin is still fairly new, at least on this exchange here, and we're looking at the Bitunix trading pair, or the Binance exchange rather, we want to recognize a few things here. First of all, we got a triangle pattern pulled up. We'll look at that in a minute, but when you jump into charts that you haven't analyzed yet, or kind of just starting fresh, it's best to recognize like key level ranges, right? So at this point, it's pretty obvious that we had a retest of our local high. I think that's what this 150 to 160 range. So we just kind of want to be mindful that that is an area in which we saw the price action travel into, and so far struggle to break. Okay, so once it breaks above and retest bullishly, that's when we want to consider taking a long position, or more so importantly, the short-term descending trend. We're still a little ways away from that, and truth be told, I'm expecting Bitcoin to pull back a little bit here. There's the 106, 107K range. That may not happen, but if it does, it's probably best to be better safe than sorry, because most altcoins right now are significantly underperforming versus Bitcoin. So if you're trading altcoins this weekend, just recognize it's slightly higher risk. You're better off waiting for one more leg down or a retracement. Those are just my thoughts. Again, I'm a little bit more conservative and safe, but when it comes to triangle patterns, since we're deriving from the upside, they generally break down to the downside. Okay, it's kind of a continuation. You could say this is like an inverse bull or bear pennant, or bear pennant, so to speak. However you look at it, triangle patterns typically break down when they come from the upside, inverse as well from the downside. Anyways, just kind of giving some foundational advice and understanding. When we look at some of the key levels here, an important understanding, we are still maintaining above the 50-day SMA. That's a good sign. It doesn't mean we are bullish. It just implies that we're on the right side of tracks for the moment. We're also under the 20-day SMA, and we're hanging out right here at 50 in the RSI. This is never really a good sign when we start to squeeze and compress into that range. It's important to understand that it's not really optimal trading conditions. You're better off waiting for a side to be picked or chosen, and it would make more sense for the price to go down based on our origination, but also Bitcoin pulling back and altcoins struggling within their current ranges. All that said, we're tentatively below the all moving averages. The point of control here, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here. Ever since we've been in this 90 to 170 range, we see the most amount of control at 110 to 115. So that's good. That's a support level for us. That does imply we may actually see the price action work itself into a type of breakout pattern here, right? So don't attach yourselves to patterns. I have the triangle pattern here just because kind of as an easy representation of what's going on. It does not imply that we're just going to break down because of it. Bitcoin pulls its head out of its ass, goes up to 110 and breaks its all-time high. Significant continuation potential for this coin and many other altcoins. I just don't see anything super amazing on this chart just yet that tells me it's worth taking a long or a short, even though statistically you're more favorable to find success shorting most coins right now. Okay, that's kind of where we're at there. But overall, the hourly time frame probably just going to confirm that we have broken below the local support range, which we have. So this is not fantastic or phenomenal either. Either way you look at it, we're starting to compress into a range, and as that happens, the more likelihood of breaking out is higher. So the best thing to do right now is to not trade this coin. I know it's a tough thing, and you're like, dang it, this guy literally just wasted the last 5 minutes of my life telling me not to take a trade. Well, you're gonna hear me say that a lot, and if you're the kind of person that's looking for answers or you're trying to force a trade, you're doing it wrong. Most people are trying to get advice on whether they should take a trade or not. The simple way to understand it, I'm never gonna tell you what you wanna hear. What you need to hear is that there's not a good trade condition for the moment, and until this pattern is invalidated, we either break above or below the trend lines, then at that point we want to reevaluate and see if it's worth taking a trade in that direction. Between now and then, best trade is no trade. That's kind of the consensus here. Apologize if that was a waste of time for you, and I hope that you learned something today, obviously. Make sure you join us over at CryptoCache.tech if you want to be part of our Trading Academy community or Signals group. We had some nice profits here from our dog whiff hat trade last week, 40%, 81%, and 49% from Bitcoin. As you can see, we're not just like going hand over fist with trades. I try to kind of pump the brakes in situations like this when we have these weird all-time high retests for Bitcoin and altcoins are that kind of struggling. It's hard to want to take a lot of trades right now based on the simple fact that the market is so shaky with weird stuff going on in the world and very unique price action. So anyways, I hope you found benefit. Join us over at Bitunix too, folks. Link down below for these guys. They're phenomenal. Between now and July 25th, there's a good bonus reward option there. So join us over at Twitter, Telegram, and Discord too if you want. We got an awesome trading community here as well. So look forward to working with you. Thanks so much for your time. See you in the next one. Take care.